Hi everybody, my name is Finlay McHugh. I am one of the performance coaches here at Absolute Health and Performance. Today I have with me Jasmine. If you are a regular here, you may recognise Jasmine from admin. And what we're going to be going through today are some simple steps for anyone who has maybe never engaged with resistance training at all or strength training, and they are interested, curious about learning to utilise some equipment such as the squat rack, squat bar, and getting themselves started. We have lots of people that come in here that have no experience and then completely avoid that style of training, which is highly beneficial because of just lack of knowledge and lack of confidence. We have a great opportunity here because with Jasmine, despite working in this fitness centre, she has actually never lifted or done any formal resistance training. So we have an opportunity to see someone going from zero and working their way hopefully right through to the barbell. Now, prior to doing any form of exercise, we would always have someone come in and do a consult. So we're going to do an extremely condensed consult right now, and I'm going to try and understand a little bit about Jasmine prior to starting anything here. All right, so three things that I would ask for is, have you got any injuries that are going to potentially limit you? No. Nope, anything through ankles, knees, hips, back, all good? That's excellent. Secondly, have you ever completed any resistance training? Well, we know the answer already is no. And then thirdly, what have you done in terms of what exercise, whether it's at school, university, what you're currently doing now, what kind of exercise are you doing?
I do yoga and bouldering.
Yoga and bouldering. So although maybe quite simple, that actually tells us a lot of information already. So I can make some pretty good assumptions right now. You probably have quite a good flexibility if you've done a lot of yoga. How often would you do yoga?
Every day.
Every day, okay. So I'm expecting a high amount of control and balance and hopefully a little bit of flexibility to go with it, which is excellent. And bouldering, so bouldering, if you're not familiar, is a form of rock climbing. So hopefully you will have a good amount of upper body strength.
Yeah.
Yep, from gripping, holding on to things. Cool. Now, although I have made those assumptions, it's then very important to have a check and see how Jasmine moves on a fundamental level. So before we use any resistance equipment, I'm going to get Jasmine to do a body weight squat, and we're going to take a look at it. Now, when completing a body weight squat, you can simply break it down into three areas. I am looking to see whether Jasmine can hold good posture through her spine, so she's bracing through her spine and she's able to hold a neutral pelvic position, all right, throughout. She's not flexing at any point. I am also looking to see whether she can maintain knee alignment, and thirdly, I'm looking to see whether she can get range of motion. So I'd like it to look something like this. Okay, ticking all those three boxes. So can I get you to just actually face over that direction over there, kind of at an angle so we can see it here, and then I'd just like to have your feet a little bit wider than shoulder width.
Yeah.
Wonderful, and then a little bit narrower. Cool, yep. And then I just want Jasmine to complete about 5 or 6 repetitions, and this gives me an opportunity to see how she moves just with her own body as resistance. On you go. Good. Very nice. Keep going. Good. Is that as deep as you can go?
No.
Let's have a look. Nice. One more. Okay, right. Now, very fortunate here, Jasmine has almost performed the perfect body weight squat there. So if you can sit into the deepest position you can in your squat and hold it there. So what we can see here is Jasmine's actually able to maintain this kind of neutral, strong spinal position here, which is very nice. If we were to get a front on, we can see that her knees are lining up with her toes. And we can also see from here, I'm guessing from her yoga background, she has great range of motion and she is able to get the crease of her thigh below her knee there and below parallel. So you can stand up. Good. And lastly, I would definitely ask, you can spin around. How did you find that? Was it easy, difficult, somewhere in between?
Easy.
Easy. So now, if you're starting out and you are finding that a challenging movement, maybe you can't hit full range of motion, there are other steps you can do. You can go down to squatting just to sitting on a chair. You can work within that range. You can maybe do a wall sit where you just sit against the wall isometrically and you hold that position. But because Jasmine has these, the range of motion, the posture and the knee alignment, I'm very happy to start progressing and putting on resistance. So, The next stage is not necessarily to jump straight to a barbell. This is where we find that maybe the public have a misconception about where you go, and that working with a barbell is a fair leap, specifically if you have not had any experience. But there are fortunately lots of options out there. We can get resistance from exercise bands, kettlebells, dumbbells, and other exercise equipment, trap bars, and there is a large range that we can work towards before going here. So what we're going to start with is we're going to do a goblet squat, and we're going to do a goblet squat with an 8-kilogram kettlebell here. All right, so what I want you to do, you can hold this multiple ways. You can just hang on to it like that. I prefer if you put your thumbs through and you flip it upside down, and this forces you to keep your chest high. After that, you're just going to complete 8 to 10 squats, smooth with control. All right, and again, if you can just face the same direction. Okay, so now that I have a little bit of resistance for Jasmine, I'm looking to see with that resistance, is she able to maintain exactly the same technique? All right, and then after that, how difficult she finds it, okay? Good, 1. Very nice. Okay, thank you. So how did you find that?
I couldn't go down as deep.
Okay, I'd say your depth was still pretty good. Did you find it difficult to stand up?
No, not really.
Not really. So that was working with an 8-kilogram kettlebell. Now, depending on what gym you're working at and maybe completing your resistance training, a barbell will traditionally be around 20 kilograms. We fortunately have a 15-kilogram barbell to make these steps a little bit more comfortable. But before working to that, I would then look to add more resistance using that goblet squat technique, right? We can use a dumbbell or a kettlebell. I'm actually going to go straight to a 20-kilogram dumbbell right now, all right? So I want you to hold it, hands out here, all right? And again, nice and smooth on the way down, standing back up again, all right? How does that feel?
That's fine.
That's all right? Let's have a look. Good, back up. And again, what we can see here is Jasmine is able to maintain pretty much exactly the same technique, maybe losing a little bit of speed on the way back up. Good, how are you finding this?
A lot more difficult coming up.
A lot more challenging, good. 5. Cool, good. Thank you very much. Now, what that is highlighted there is, although Jasmine is maintaining excellent technique, that was a challenge, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can see that by the speed that the motion is happening. You're going down at a nice comfortable pace and you're taking a little bit of time to switch it around and start coming back up there. Now, how many repetitions someone could do? Generally, we would look for someone to be completing higher numbers of repetitions, anywhere from 8 to 12 to 15. The reason for that is that gives Jasmine actually lots of opportunity to just practice the motion and become grooved in it, just like you would be doing if you completed a sport or any kind of other factor in your life, all right? You want to complete repetitions so you can become competent and feel confident doing it. Now, the next stage after this is we will then move to a squat rack, but we'll leave that for the next video. Thank you.